Good evening, everyone, and welcome. It's greetings from Hong Kong, and hello to everyone joining this wonderful online event presented by IATC-HK. My name is Bernice, and thank you so much for joining us this event to know more about the performing arts in Thailand. And I'm really honored and pleasure to be able to present this online event with Pawit. And Pawit is a very dear friend of IATC-HK, and he is also a theater critic and a curator for this event for arts. Because IATC-HK is really having a vision of to widen our borders of knowing more about the performing arts contemporary situation from all over the world. So we are, for this special focus, we would like to know more about from Thailand. So it's really our pleasure, and thank you so much for Pawit's participation and collaboration with IATC this time, to be able to allow very important and significant performing arts artists from Thailand to be able to share about their experience on their practices of traditional and modern performing arts. And Pawit, thank you so much for bringing us this wonderful topic. And I would like to give a very big welcome to you and also to our special guests. Thank you so much, Pawit.
Thank you very much, Bernice. On behalf of IATC Thailand, I cherish our relationship, and I look forward to more collaborations in the future. Okay. And before we start, let me remind you that there's another forum next Wednesday. And on this forum, we have two male speakers, and on the next forum, we will have two female speakers, right, to balance. Today, we're going to focus on the practice of two artists whose works have crossed the line, if any, or boundary between tradition and modernity. And I have known like both of them for decades now. Okay. First is my teacher. Okay, and I studied with him when I was 18 years old, so it's been a long time. I performed in his theater productions, like during my university years and also after I finished my university years. And we used to work in the same department at a university, and he left, and then later I left. Okay, and his work is very extensive. I mean, you can see his work on stage as well as on television, as well as on the movie. And I remember that when I was studying with him, one of his concept is ทำเทศให้เป็นไทย or in English is to make like foreign Thai, or trying to make something that is foreign to Thai people, like kind of local or localize the context. But if you look into his biography, he's grown up with tradition, with traditional performing arts. And later on, he was studying in the United States. That's when he was exposed to more Western theater. And his work has been quite organically or naturally, like crossing the boundary between the two. And I'm not surprised that a few years ago he was consecrated as a national artist, which is the highest honor a Thai artist can receive. Please welcome my teacher, Chandruang. And the second speaker, I've also known for a long time, I think since 1992, if I'm not mistaken, like since his university years. So it's been, wow, 30 years already. It's like half of our life, more than half of our life We have been to some like conferences together, some productions together. I've watched many of his works, and I'm sure that some of you have watched his works somewhere in the world as well. He was trained in classical Thai mass dance theater, which is Khon. But then again, later on, he was exposed to other traditions of dance and theater from many different countries, and he received many awards, including the Silapathorn Award from the Ministry of Culture of Thailand, as well as John D. Rockefeller III Award from Asian Cultural Council, among other awards. Please welcome Pichet Klunchun. Okay, so let's get on with our questions. I prepare some questions, but of course, if you have questions, and I'm sure you do, please write them in the chat box, or towards the end of our session, we will allow like anyone who have a question to ask questions to any of our speakers. So my first question when I think about this topic is that both of you have background in traditional performing arts before, like you have the exposures to the modern counterparts of them. Some artists like have to choose like between like to focus on either traditional or the modern in their practice. But in your case, in both of your cases, it seems like why has it been like very natural for both of you like to work in both areas as if there were no border or boundaries between them? Okay. Let's start with Janaprakal, or many of us refer to him as Kru Chang. Okay. Chang is his nickname, and Kru means master or teacher in Thai.
Guru. Well, I don't know where to start, but I can only think of going back to the origin of my life. It's because I was born in an ashram where my grandfather was the big guru, or the big maestro, but he was a composer, Thai traditional music. So you have to imagine the life when I was young. I have to get up with the sound of xylophone, okay, at 4 in the morning, every day, okay. And unfortunately, fortunately that I picked up some skill, you know, that he has passed on from to my mother, to my aunts and stuff like that. So I pick up a few of the skills of traditional Thai music. But my grandmother, she's sort of had this vision of sending me to school, okay? And the school that I enrolled, it was quite one of the best school in Thailand, number one, top 10. And they don't have no traditional Thai music. And I was ashamed of my background. And because everybody was playing Western music, okay? And all the students, there are music class with, you know, you can pick up violins or guitars or drums, or, you know, or even what you call marching band and stuff like that. And they are so what do you call, they become famous, those kids who have this second what do you call this discipline in music in school. They, you know, during the New Year ceremony, they would get up on stage and perform music and stuff like that. But we have a little tiny class of traditional Thai music, in which I never lay a foot in that room at all, because I was so ashamed, because I didn't want anybody to know that I came from a traditional Thai background, okay? And so I kind of what do you call to hide my my own personality and everything. And I didn't do good in school until I got kicked out, and I asked my father to send me abroad. So eventually he sent me abroad, and I went to America to study high school there, and I finished high school in America, and then I enrolled in college in Montana, where the surrounding was so nice, but it was so lonely. You know, during the winter, you don't get to talk to anybody. And when I get lonely, I wrote home, asking for some instruments, any available instrument that you can send to keep me company. So they sent me a flute, okay? And I got so excited when I received that parcels, and I tear it up, and there's a flute. So I took it to the university. And as a foreigner studying as a second language also, in the university in America, somehow you have to be sociable, but because the lack of language and the ability, I was kind of shut in. So I started walking around and playing my flute. And then all of a sudden, people start coming and look at me and listening to me, and in a small group, and then it become a bigger group, and I felt that I have a place there. I found I can lay a foot there somehow, and the class, it happened that my teacher came and listened to it, and they said, "Wow, this is a neat sound." So so it obvious that the things that I neglect, eventually it helped me to get through college eventually. So that's when I integrate or collaborate Thai classical music or Thai classical things into my work also. And of course, at my when I was growing up, you cannot separate music and dance from one another. Of course, I don't know how to dance, but I know how to play a little bit of music, you know, but not very good. But somehow it kind of embedded in me because I absorbed everything, because when I have a homework from school, the one who taught me how to do the homework was the dancers. You know, if I have a mathematics homework, the dancer would help me, English and everything. So all the subjects that in school, I was helped by the dancers. So somehow it's kind of absorbed in me. And one important thing, when I came back to Thailand, I was asked to teach at one of the film production, okay, and they have a film school, an acting school also. And I walked into that school the first day, and I saw they were dancing, and there was someone greeted me and then asked me to sit and wait, and there was a dancer crawling, you know, on the floor with the jonggraben, okay, the red jonggraben. What is jonggraben? Is a rope that you can wear the Thai dance. Pichet can give it more detail on it. And I looked at it because I had been away for like 7 or 8 years, you know, without coming back to Thailand. So I had that American mind in me, and I saw that woman crawling with that dress. My God, it was so exotic, and I could not resist myself. So she then became the mother of my first son. So that's the story. Okay. So I would say to you right now that it's just that it happened to be that I was born in it, I absorbed it, and somehow it helped me through my difficult years and everything. So this is why I'm doing it. Is it enough? Okay.
Thank
For
you very
now.
much. So it sounds like it's very natural for you. I mean, having like been born in a family of artists.
I am destined to be born in this family.
But and you also made a very good point. Excuse me.
God bless you.
Hope it's not COVID. Okay. I think you also made a very good point in explaining to us that in many arts arena, like different disciplines of art, like live together. Like you're talking about like dance, you're talking about like theater, you're talking about like music, and it seems like in the traditional realm of art, like they kind of like coexist, like more than in the modern realms, like when we are kind of like asked to concentrate on one or the other. But we can come back back to that. I think when you talked about you playing the flute somewhere in Montana, like among the beautiful mountains.
Yes.
It kind of like reminded, and how like American people like really appreciate this. It kind of remind me of how like Westerners or Europeans like admire Pichet's work as well. Like, and when I look at his company's performance like schedule, he like on in certain years, like Pichet, you and your company like perform overseas like more often than in Thailand. But then again, I'm just wondering, like with your background, I mean, you started, if I'm not mistaken, you started quite late, right? You started when in high school, when you like started to become interested in Khon, and then you asked like one of the Khon masters to give you like a private lesson, and from that time on, it started like your education in Khon and in your career. But then later on, you moved to something that is like, for a lot of people, there's something that is a very different approach to classical Thai performing arts than other like performing artists like that we know here in Thailand. So again, the same question, like why has it been like natural like for you to work like in both in the tradition and also in the modern contemporary interpretation of it?
Okay. Thank you very much, Pawit. And I would like to say Janaprakal is one of my teachers. It's very important for my work. Yeah. Okay, I would like to share screen to you. Yes. Okay, you see it? Oh, what's wrong with this? You see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, good. Yes, when you look at this photo, you will see like, wow, this is tradition and this is like a technology. But if you start to realize the idea and concept into object, I mean the mask and the VR headset, the traditional is create a fantasy world. Yeah, and for the VR headset is create a virtual reality. And for both of material, I would like to call this material. It's create imaginations of human brain. Yeah, it's human mind. Yeah, and deal with a human. Yeah. ExCom's performance is create a fantasy world for the audience, and we are create a fantasy of the audience by using technology equipment. And both of this, I would like to say, this is like a virtual reality fantasy world. When I try to understand both of time, I mean the traditional time and then nowadays time, I think this is like the same idea and the same concept. But for today, we have a technology, and then the technology start to create something kind of the traditional performance. And when you practice in the traditional practicing, when you use the technology, you have to practice the technology too. Yeah, and you use the body and humans being to combine these two things together. It's for me, it's not a new thing, but it's some new experience or new object or new material for humans to learn or to deal with it. Yeah, this is the way when I deal with the tradition and the modern time. Yeah, I'm not thinking about this is tradition or this is a contemporary or this is a technology. What is the knowledge? What is this can deal or can create or can communicate with a human? That is my work.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for clarifying this. And it kind of like reminds me of when there's a very usual like touristic image of Thailand, like being a very like kind of exotic traditional country. I mean that's one of the image of Thailand that like many ministries have been like promoting. But then when you get into like when you, of course, like many of you have been to Thailand, it's a modern country, and we have technology everywhere. We have SkyTrain and everything. So it just like sometimes it's like Pichet said, it's impossible, I mean, to separate, I mean, tradition from modernity, because we live in this country which is like more than 8 centuries old, but of course, like we have all the modern technology to as part of our daily life anyway. I'd like to go on to the second question, which is for both of you, and I like you to share like some secrets on how the question is like, can you elaborate on how you deal with the relationship between tradition and modernity in your practice as a contemporary artist? Let's start from Pichet this time.
Yes, I will share my screen again. Okay. Yes, it's my practice is not secret anymore. Yes. Okay. If we are thinking about like the tradition, in the tradition they have the way to teach, to practice, to telling the story, blah blah blah. The way when I create a new works or contemporary works or a new way of practice, the first thing I very like interesting to create a new way of storytelling. Yeah, how we can create a new way of storytelling. We use the same story from the tradition, but it's a new way. Yeah, it's like the second photo. Yeah, in this photo, I call the diagram. Yeah, this diagram is like it's the transfer from the body, human's body, is a traditional dancer body, into the diagram. And then when I teach my students or my dancer in my company, I teaching them both the concept of the traditional from the master and the concept of the diagram from the company. And then from intangible become tangible. This is one idea. And the second idea, when you see the animation moving, this is the second idea to develop a new way of practicing. Yeah, how? If we use some of the technology or we use some material, what we have right now, and then creates a new directions or new connection or a new way of movements, and we learn something from we don't know how the computer can generate or operate for us. Yeah. And the last one is we develop cross-disciplinary knowledge. Yeah. And then after that, we create like this kind of animation, and then the body, how the body connect to the animation, how the computer and the body relate to each other. And we use one concept about cybernetic concept to deal with humans' body and the technology. This is 3 things for the company, yeah, to practice right now about a new way of the practice about the traditional way. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, Pichet, do you have computer engineers in your company as well?
Not really, but I have a friend.
Okay. Yes, please. Kuchangap. Okay. So can you share your secret of how you deal with the relationship between tradition and modernity in your practice?
I can tell you within one word. Copy. Yeah, I cannot hear your voice, but first of all, in Thai, you do exactly what your master do. Okay, your master will show you exactly. For instance, in Thai classical music, they will give you a few notes, tang 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 tang, and then you just copy it, tang 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 tang. Okay. And the whole method of Thai traditional music, I think Indians or Chinese, they all do this. Okay, starting off by copying. Okay, and the kids simply, they are the best copier. They can copy as best. See what you see, what they are doing. They are making patterns. And the pattern has been passed on from generation to generation. So we simply copy the old ones. Okay. So, and what do you do when you copy? So now I think it's a waste of time if you just do that, do the threading and that thing without doing it. We recite, we do the chanting. In the same times, we learn how to use our voice while we do the needles like that, go up and down, and we would go. We would learn how to use nasal sounds, that kind of thing. And the more you do, is the better you get if you keep doing it. Okay, and the thing is, when you are while you are copying it, you have to have a free mind. Your mind has to be free. Your mind will be occupied at the beginning. Okay, when you copy how to do it. Okay, I have to go this way and that way. Oh, the pattern is like that. I have to copy it correctly, or even the movement and stuff like that. Your mind will be occupied for at the beginning, but after a while, if you keep consistently doing it every day, okay, your mind are free. This is amazing. And when your mind are free, you think of something else, and that is that is when you are trying to integrate or collaborate, or what you call work with your surrounding and everything. So you think of something else. When you ride a bicycle, if you're still thinking about how to ride it, you will fall down. No, you don't think of how to ride a bicycle. You think of your girlfriend who is waiting for you to arrive. Okay, and you think of her, and then you ride your bicycle to her. Then you get there. So in other words, your thought is something else instead of the copy. So at the beginning, you think of it. It will, and if you keep doing it, after a while, then you don't have to do it anymore. Okay. This is, I can just simply say that in a very short term that we simply copy, and we copy nature at the beginning. We try to make the sound of the thunder. We try to make the sound of the wind, of the earthquake, of the, that kind of thing. We try to make the sound of we try to copy the sound of the animals, of the lions, of the elephants, and we make music. So go back to the root. We are capable of copying one another. This is what human being can do. Animals cannot. They live on instinct. They cannot even copy one another. It's so amazing to see actors that they can portray so many characterizations, like Charlie Chaplin, he becomes a dictator, he becomes a worker. That you simply start off with the copying. Okay, but it's, I don't know, because of the law of today, so we scared to say that I have copied this work from that person. But in reality, this is what your teacher wants you to just do it exactly the same way. And when your mind is free, then you develop your own your own identity. Yeah, eventually. So you only be occupied with the copy for a few months, or if you keep doing it a few days even, and then when your mind are free, then you create something while you're doing that. It's like the abbot, okay, the priest who is meditating, and he would playing with his beads, the necklace beads. By doing that, his mind is free. Okay. And he keep doing it at all time, just like as simple as that. There is no secret at all. Just go ahead and do it. But I try not to be too academic, to be what you call how do you say that? Academic, yes. But academically, you start off with copy. Go back for thousands of years. I mean. This is the whole idea. The kids learn how to say mom. This is mother. This is your mother. Say mom. And the kids would touch the mouth of the mother and would say mom eventually. And the father came, hey, this is papa. Say papa. And the kid would feel the face and, so copying it. So another word, the kid needs role model more than critiques. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think this reminds me of what Pichet has said in one of his early works, I Am a Demon as well. When you, Pichet, when you started your training with Master Shayot, you have to copy his gestures as well. You have to do the hand gestures, the legs gestures, over and over again for days and weeks and months. So my question, this is an extra question inspired by Kru Chang. After the question for Pichet, so after your teacher, Master Shayot, they asked you to copy his gestures. To use Kru Chang's words, when did you start to have your free mind, your free thinking?
Okay. I cannot say exactly when. I can't say exactly when, but I think it's almost more than 10 years later. Yeah, it's more than 10 years later. Yeah, your mind is free. Your mind is free. It means your body can dance without brains give the order. Yes, and your brain start to be free. To analyze all your movements again. Yeah. And when you start to analyze your movements, that is the deeper part, you start to be a choreographer. Because the way when you study from the master, that is the way to be a dancer. Yeah, because you look from outside. And the choreographer is more deeper. You have to deal with your muscle. You have to deal with breathing. You have to deal something in like human being. Yes, this is what I would like to say this.
Thank you ขอบคุณครับครับผม Okay, once again, for our Zoom participants, if you have any questions, you can write in the chat box anytime, or you can wait until like the last 30 minutes of our session, and then you can ask your questions. We keep going. Next question is for Krushang. Okay, you have. I mean, you were teaching at the university for many years, and I was one of your students, and then you quit teaching at university, and then you started your theater school, and you have incorporated like Buddhist like philosophy in the training of your children. I mean, your school children or your company members. Can you explain like how like Buddhist philosophy helps grooming the next generation of Thai performing artists?
Well, nobody asked me these questions, but first of all, I have to say that I love to read about Buddhist Dharma, Dhamma, Dharma, yes. And I love to go to the temple and watch the monk give sermons. Okay, and they would chant Kuttarat Yep Gruat. That's one of the tones, special tones to Thai people, and it's rare now. And I love talking. It's the matter of what do you want to read, what do you want to see. Okay, when you see it a lot, then you somehow you have to release it somehow, and I have no other place to release but to my students, for them, but somehow I hope that they can understand. But anyway, it's not easy, you know that. In order for them to what you call to get the word of wisdom, it doesn't just tell them and then they get it. No, it takes more than that. Okay, so after I release them in words, you know, I heard it from this monk. And then, hey, this monk's so neat, man, so cool. This philosophy and this interpretation of Buddhist is so new, and listen, and nobody understands me at all. Okay, so eventually I put it into the production, hoping that my student would somehow, you know, entitled to get something out of it. Okay, and no, it's not that easy to get it. But the thing is that when you keep doing it, you addicted to it, you hook to it, because you when you feel the, you know, it's so profound, and how can you get away from it? Because I cannot do without. I cannot see the world without relating to the Buddhist philosophy or Buddhist teaching at all. So it becomes the work eventually, and so now I try to make it as simple as possible, because what is all about Buddhist is all about this world, and everything in this world, the whole universe is all about, even a mosquito is part of the Dharma also. So finally it come to duty. Okay, mosquito had its duty, grasshopper has the duties, the fish has the duties, bird has the duties, Pichet has the duty, Pawit, you have your duties. And that is Dharma. That is the real Dharma. That is the, what you call the tangible, I heard Pichet said intangible and tangible, the tangible side of that you can hold on to it, okay? The duty is what you can see, what you can tell, and just do your duty correctly, and do your duty sincerely, and that's all there is to it. And the problem is that we are not quite sincere in what we are doing, okay? So that's kind of confused and make the world is kind of make it so difficult. In reality, Dharma is very simple, and simply carry on the simplicity of it, okay? And that's what your duty is for. Even though, so I like it very much when I can find a very simple way of telling this sutra, okay? First of all, the fourth noble truth, okay? One is what it is. Okay, if I bring out this bottle, what is this bottle? That's the truth number one. What is this bottle? Oh, this bottle is to contain water inside. And then the second truth is why the water must be contained, okay? And how to, the process of containing this bottle. Maybe they use bamboos, they use wood, then finally they use plastic and with the lid on it so it won't spill, stuff like that. So the process of becoming this bottle is what is the second truth. And what is this bottle for? So we can take it to anywhere we want, and we can save it, we can drink it, we can, do things, and we can stock in the car, and we can put it by your bed, and then you drink it in the morning and stuff like that, okay? And how to drink it from the water. If you leave it in the waters for so long, then it becomes dangerous. Or if you and there's a how to get rid of the bottle because it's plastic, and it will ruin the environment and everything. So this is the four noble truth, as simple as that, okay? But well, I don't know whether it's simple or not, that I was saying. So I try to be as simple as possible, but before you can get that simple, somehow there's a contour of this path. Before your aim is to be simple, try to be as simple as possible, but you have to take the detour. The simplicity that you think it is so simple, somehow people just don't understand, they don't take it, and majority of the people think it's too complicated. So you have to come back and recheck. What the hell have you done? I'm trying to make it as simple as why can't it? So that's why Buddha gives when you teach a thief, this is how you teach with this with limited sentence. If you teach the merchants, you have to have these sutras, okay? And if you teach the king, there are this kind of thing. And if you teach those who are enlightened or those who are about to get enlightened, then you don't have to say anything, okay? There are many ways of doing it. It depends on who you are talking to. Oh, that's simple, okay? That's more simple. And then who you are talking to, isn't it what theater is all about? You want to talk to this particular person, and it came back that when you learn about Buddha life, he never teach to the mass. He's so personal. You look in this one, he talked to พระเจ้าพิมพิสาร This one, he talked personally to Nang Patajera Theri, who has been mad, and then he has listened. This one, he talked to this peasant, particular one singular one. But the singular one who is listening to him somehow doesn't get it or didn't get it. But the one who is happened to be there nearby got it and got enlightened. So this is how I do it. But anyway, it starts off that from this. This is very important. You have to like it. You have to like it. You have to have a habit of loving it. You have to, you know, when you go up to the shelf of the book, which book you pick? I think I picked Buddhist 7 out of 10. Okay, so it means that you like it. As simple as that. Same, if you because you like boxing, that's why you watch boxing, okay, instead of golf. Okay, why don't you watch golf? So when you watch boxing so much, eventually you become a boxer. Okay, if you started when you're at an early age, because you love boxing so much, or you like Muhammad Ali, he keep punching and stuff like that, and then you start fighting like Muhammad Ali eventually. So I don't know why I like it, but if you want to know it, I think I have the answer for it, but I don't have no time for now. Why I like Dharma to be in my work. I think I said it all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And well, given the background of our traditional arts, I mean, they are like related to Buddhism as well. And I think that's part of the reason why you understand like traditional arts like so well, and you have taught like your students to understand them as well. I'd like to move on to the next question, and this is a question for Pichet. In recent years, your research and practice have become transdisciplinary. It's a very popular word now. You're working not only in visual arts, but also like with scientists and technologists. And like, for example, the diagram that you like show us at the beginning of this session, what have you discovered like by far?
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. I because okay, you asking me what I'm discover. Yeah. I don't have any answer for you, but I would like to answer why I'm doing it. Yeah, I think this is more interesting. Yeah, why I jump or move into visual art or technology. After I work with the company, and you know, when you have to have survive or give living for the dancer in the company, you are deal with something more difficult. And I think the theater performance has a limit of time, a limit of space, and a limit of the audience. Yeah, because we perform in the evening, just only in the evening all the time. And we have just only like theater space. It's huge, big, and difficult. And in Thailand, we have a few more, space. And the audience has a limit because of the contemporary work. My idea is, how can I extend more time for my work? Yeah, and then has more audience, has more space. Yeah, this is the idea starting to collaborate with visual artists. When I work with visual artists, some of my work can exhibit in the gallery. Yeah, for example, the photo you see, this is one of the company work for we call recording of movements. I create the choreography, the group choreography of my dancer, and canvas, and then charcoal, and we do choreography, copy the choreography on canvas, and this canvas can be in the gallery from 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock. The audience can come to see this painting the whole day. And I can have more audience from know my work and understand my work. This is the idea. And again, when I would work with scientists, because nowadays we are deal with the technology. We have cell phone, we have iPad, we have VR, blah, blah, blah. How can I create a work or space people can go to see 24 hours? Yeah, people can do online, people can use VR and see my work. This is, you can log in from website. This is all archive of 10 years of my company. Yeah, about my work. You can see the diagram of number 60. You can see the production of black and white. You can see Nijinsky work. You can see Dancing with Death inside this virtual reality. And the audience can see from home, and then 24 hours can see it. This is the idea why can I work with, visual art or technology or scientists. This is I would like to share.
Thank you very much. Okay, for sharing this with us. Okay, so we are moving along. Okay.
I would like to compliment Chet very much because
yes,
wow, very exciting what he's doing. And as far as I'm concerned, I think he has set what you call a sample, or what you call for the later artists to follow. Like for me, I agree so much with Pichet that when you give a theater and then it's gone, you know, what is your record? So right now in Morodokmai, at my work, we are moving toward music. Okay, that's why I encourage my students to really go into music. They must learn, because I come from music family. Okay, so and I went to America. I learned, I play music in America also. So even though we are theater people, we are actors, but actors, just like those who in the South, Lakhon Chatri, they can act and they can perform music in the same time. And with today's technology, and nowadays we have, we can record it and we can mix it with this what you call technical things, which is I don't know, but my sons and my students, they all know how to do it. So why don't go for it and use it and put it in YouTube or Spotify or whatever, and so the work can be seen and can be, so it eventually, that's why we are doing a lot of musical. Most of my performance are musicals. Okay. So we can record, we can keep it, another word. Okay, you can see that. We went to Europe, and we bring acting, movements, and of course, music.
Then I have a follow-up question. Is this similar to like in the old days, like when like traditional performing arts troupe from Thailand like travel to Europe? I mean, they perform like dance as well as like theater as well as music as part of as part of the tour. A question for Hu Chang.
When you do text, a lot of text, then you have problem because those foreigners, they don't understand what you're talking about. Like I had to sit there I once had to sit in somewhere in Moscow, watching Dostoevsky for 3 hours without understanding anything. Okay, that was painful. But anyway, but when I came to Finland and there was this same production, but did it in movement and music and everything. Oh, it became, you know, I was awakened all of the time. Okay, so it means that what to do at when is important. Okay, in the old day we don't have much of the liberty or freedom to express so much because the invention of the camera, then the painting of realism is no longer work. You have to move to expressionism or impressionism or otherism, you know, because of they have invented the camera and they can capture your portrait better than the painter. So when and that become we can tell the story in the other way. There are more options. We cannot we have freedom to tell the story in many ways. So today I think it's the time that we can say anything. Okay, but as long as you still have the root. Okay, the root is very important. The Chinese, I think they have said it clearly. The old philosopher of China, they said the arrow, the more you pull, you know, the further you can get ahead. You can get so far if you keep pulling. So another word, if you go back to the root, the more you can go to the root, then the future is so clear. Okay, that's very important. And there are so many ways to tell the stories. And of course, the foreigners, they may see that Thai classical dance or movements are quite exotic, or they just don't understand. But when you know where it comes from and why they do it, it's so simple. It's as simple as that. It has the condition, and the condition is so reasonable, you know, to be that way. So that when you're talking about contemporary form or traditional form, to me, I have no boundary. When you said it's blurring boundaries of traditional and contemporary, well, it depends on how you interpret it. But to me, I think there is no boundary. But of course, you have to go to the root. That's the boundary. Am I making any sense at all? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, you always make sense. Yes, it's always nice to listen to your thought. Yes, you always have a very intelligent thought. It's like okay. I was back in your class again. Okay, well we are moving on. I think both of you have been highly respected by the artists of younger like generations, and some of them are trying to like walk this fine line like between traditional and modern performing arts, like trying to bridge like between the two, or trying to blend like one with the other. Do you have any suggestions for them, like the young artists, like no matter where they are? I'll start from Pichet, please.
Okay, you have to make sure, but I will tell you, this is not easy to be in success in this career. One thing, and the second is you have to deal with time, yourself, and then people around you. And you can fail more than just success. Yes, and I don't know. Yeah, this is the way of individual way. Yes. Yeah.
But I remember that you told me that like when someone want to study with you, want to take your class, you will not accept him or her. I mean, you would ask them to study like somewhere else before, and then coming to join your class, to study in your classes. Can you explain like why?
Because my time has a limit. Yeah, make sure the people I get, they continue and take seriously to be not the artist, to live with the art, to live with the dance. This is one. And the second, when people want to study with me 2 or 3 years in my company, I don't give anything, just walking around, clean the floor. And then again, like Ajahn Janaprakal say, copy the senior until 2 or 3 years. Make sure you are and you want to be. That's I will look at you and teach you. Because the way when I teach the people is very like traditional way. Seriously, the way when I create work is quite like modern way, Western way. Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
What about you, ครับ อาจารย์ Janaprakal? How do you teach your students, and
I don't teach.
any suggestions for them?
I don't teach. They have to be with me. They have to sleep with me. And they even have to bring their family, their parents, their mother and their father to be with them, or else no, go away. I won't accept it. So they have to be with me 24 hours, days and night, because no other way. So it's similar to Pichet, okay? And this is, I just simply copy my grandfather, because I remember the students in the old days, you know, like, oh my God, 60 years ago. I'm not talking about I'm that old, okay? 60 years ago, 70 years ago, they came, and the whole family came, and they would pay respect, would bring vegetables, would bring fruits, you know, and something to give into the kitchen and everything, and bowed, and the father and the mother would come and would just simply give his boy or her boy to the master, and ask the master to treat him as their own children and stuff like that. So no, this is why I quit Chulalongkorn University, because Chulalongkorn University is very what you call industrialistic approach. You punch in and then you punch out, and you accumulate knowledge. Knowledge cannot be accumulated. When you accumulate it, you get dumb and dumber. Okay. You have to search for knowledge, and it comes and it stays. Okay, when you accumulate, you cannot remember if you keep accumulating. Okay, like you trying to go for examination, and you recite and try to memorize. It's gone the next morning. But when the knowledge arrives to you, when you are what you call capable of getting it, it stays. Okay, it stays for a long time. Okay, it's called Pavana Panya. Pavana, it's mean you do it every day consistently. As it's called Wat Patibat. I don't know what Patibat in English. How would you say it, Pawit? Could you help me? It's a Wat Patibat. It's a duty.
The duty
like
is practice. It's a normal practice, daily practice.
Yeah, but
standard practice.
Yeah, it's not like you go to the warehouse, industrial house, and work, you know, punch in and punch out. No, not like it's your own discipline. Okay, and you get up at 4:30 in the morning, and you start do the work every day for 2 hours consistently. Okay, and finally you become it by yourself. Now, very important. This is very important. As a teacher, I cannot teach anybody, because the knowledge, you gain it by yourself. Well, even though Pichet is, or you, kind of, look up to me and saying that I'm your teacher and everything, but in reality, I did not teach anything to you at all. I don't think there is a teacher who can do that. But every wisdom, every knowledge, you gain it by yourself, on your own, okay? No teachers can do that, but the teacher can be the example, okay? Or the teachers can provide, facilitate the atmosphere, the environment for you to get there by yourself. To get there, you have to be there by yourself. You cannot rely on anybody. But of course, you have to be with the good master as a role model. But when it comes to the real wisdom, the knowledge, you get it yourself.
Yes, I think when you mention I didn't teach you anything and not your master, maybe we are like has a different idea of the master, the different idea of the teacher. For me, the teacher or the master is not like teaching people, but the good teacher is to point the finger, about the direction to the student. Yeah, I think that is very important, to point one finger and then the student decide for themselves. Yeah. If no master point the finger, the student will stay in one spot and lost the way to go.
Indeed, indeed.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Okay. Absolutely. Okay, I'd like to open up for questions from the floor, from other participants in the Zoom. You can ask any questions to our two speakers.
Any questions from our audience and our participants? Please feel free to write to us at the chat box, or you can switch on your microphone so we can hear your questions. And of course, as IATC, as the presenter, I will take this privilege of to ask some questions. And indeed, thank you so much for two wonderful speakers to share your experience with us. And it's really an inspiring talk. And I'm very curious about the documentation of both artists' work. As you also mentioned about like Pichet, some of your work are already presented in a very modern way, using maybe different kinds of technologies to document it. And indeed, some artists are very aware of documenting their work so as to pass on their experience to the next generation and also to the students. How do you think about the way to document your work, or do you think documentation of your work is very important, or like some artists, maybe they do not want their works to be documented? So I would like to know more about your thoughts about documenting your works.
Yes, I want to document my work. Yeah, it's very important. It's very important to document everything, even the wrong way or the right way, or the wrong work and the right work. Yeah, because people can learn and they can go faster than us. I think this is very important. Yeah, for the student or for the people want to be like work or create work. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
May I know in what way that you think is more could document your work more efficiently, in writing or in different kinds of device?
I have writing. I have a book of myself. The book 10 Years of the Company, and all the book about like journey. This is one is a hard copy, and another is like online. Yeah, online or virtual reality or events like documentary from YouTube. I think this is one of very important for me. People can go and searching, and then people can listen, and then they can decide this is right way or wrong way. The way when they are thinking about create work, everything. I think it's a material is very important. Yeah, and then for me, I can look back to archive my own archive. How the developments of my work, or what is the way of creation of the work. Yes.
How about Kuchan, your thoughts or your experience about documenting your own
it's
works?
very important. It is very important. I think because we are living together, and I'm getting old. Okay, and I don't know how much left I have got left. So documentation is one of the way to keep the work with us. So instead of doing it later, we start off with the documentation right away. Okay, journals. It's have been applied to all my students and all my kids. Pichet was mentioning it also in the same time. But see, the kids, even the little kids, they write journal what they can, what they see out of everyday life, and in action, in every day. They have to do it every day. Okay, so. Even though they just learn how to write, it's important. And this is the documentation, and this is as simple as possible. And I don't know, one day you can come and bid for it. It will be high price, but it's important, yes. And you create work out of that journals, okay? And you can put many journals together and make a production out of it. And you can take one journal of you can juggle it around. So it's important. Now, second thing is now we have this. Okay, we have
cell phone.
It comes with a photo. Okay, you can be an idiot and you can take photos. All right. This is also important. So we trying to make a portrait of our work. Okay, it came from because we are doing work with incarcerated kids. Okay, we cannot show their real face because of the law and stuff like that. So it's become artistic already with this. You know, if you cannot expose everything, it's art already. Okay, so the portraits of the journals, portraits of the thoughts, portraits of your especially the bad deeds that you have done. Okay, oh come on, every literature all full of bad things, you know, that the writers has hidden it inside. Okay, so that's another thing. Okay, because the reason why I was showing this thing, the self-portrait, is that because those incarcerated kids, they have limited ability of writing. Okay, and of course we do things, we use theater with the deaf, the blind, cripples, you know, all kind of things. So this come in handy. Okay, or even sometimes we give me notes, we do the citation and stuff like that. So, but anyway, I would like to add up to that. Documentation is very important. Yes.
Okay. Any other questions from the audience? Pichet has changed
sharing
screen.
Photos.
It's an archive.
An archive photo documentation.
Yes. Can you give us some backgrounds about these photos that you on your background?
This is from before I make my theater around like 6-7 years when Cruchang is visit my theater. That is like outdoor space. Yes.
Wow, that long.
Yes.
It's in 20 years or
Not well, around
10?
8 or 9 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Wow, it's really, so it shows why archives is very important. So it creates memories.
Yes.
And bring a lot of like sweet memories for not only for us but also for our audience as well. Any questions from our audience and or our participants?
Well, if not, I have a question. I think it's a very difficult one because I actually Cruchang mentioned that for him there's no boundary between like tradition and modernity, but then in actuality, in the real world, especially in Thailand, there have been attempts to separate like one from the other, even though it's very difficult. I mean, you see like in universities, like most of the performing arts departments, they either teach traditional or modern. I mean, there are only a few that they are teaching, that they are doing both. And then I think more importantly in government management of performing arts, they're trying to separate as well. I mean, in Thailand there's an office of contemporary arts and culture, yeah, and then there's a department of cultural promotion within the Ministry of Culture. So I mean, it means that the government is trying to differentiate like tradition from modernity. And then of course, like if you look into the budget, I mean, a lot of money goes to the preservation of the classical arts, yeah, and very little to promotion of contemporary art. And for a lot of people, contemporary arts mean like foreign arts. That's not like Thai. So I'm wondering. I'd like to hear your thoughts, like both of your thoughts on this. Is this a healthy relationship like that we are facing here, like trying to separate like one from the other, or do you have any suggestions for the future? Cruchang ครับ
Can I go first? First of all, the mentality of the government, they are weird, they are strange, peculiar. They need to keep separating things. Like in the old days, I remember we used to have 50 provinces in Thailand. Now it's 77. So it's mean more budget. So the government can play with the budget, the tax money and stuff like that, or even the borrow money from outside or whatever. You know, so the more they divide it, the more division it occurs, the more money. So the end result is the money. It's not the development of mind, of soul or anything like that. So the outcome is only for money. So that so let's not talk about the government. They will never understand what we are doing. So even in the academy institution stuff also, even though we have a lot of good scholars, but somehow with the rules and regulations you have to go by, then you cannot say much. You cannot contribute much to the outside. Okay, but when it comes to your questions with boundary and boundary, with in reality, Pawit, when we talk about tradition, is the old, is of the past, right? When we talk about innovative things, it's about contemporary and stuff like that. So it's the old and new together. But there is no old or new. Tell me the present. Gone. The present is coming. It's almost here. It's gone. You cannot catch it. So there is no boundary. You understand what I'm talking about? Okay. I don't know how to explain it. But anyway, there is no akaliko. I don't know how to translate into English, but akaliko, it means it doesn't depend on time. It depends on condition. This is the condition and the cause and the result. Condition, cause, and result, you know, throughout the process. Okay, the whole thing. So even though you catch the result, then you can go back all the way through this process to the beginning. Okay, or you catch the middle, you grab the middle, somehow you get the head and the end one way or the other. So it's one line, one connected line, okay, from the past to here. All right. But wait, I still remember when you have no beard, no mustache, and without long hair. I still remember that. But now you have it. Okay. But was it you? Yes, it was you. It was you. It was still a bomb. But with Mahasarinand from, you know, I saw you when you were in freshman. Still the same person. Okay. And Pichet, my God, your English has improved. So, oh my God, I was shocked. I mean, but it was you who did speak English then. Still the same person. You see? So even though where you catch it is still that same line. So that's why I see that there is no boundary. Okay, but when you have to write for money, okay, then you have to limit it with timelines. Oh, that's the history. That's the traditional kind of thing. It's evolution. Everything evolves from one point to another point all the time. Okay. And everything's keep changing. And this is what reality is all about. Thank you.
What about Pichet's thought on this?
About the government?
Both the government and the schools, and the universities, like departments.
Okay, for the university,
Academy.
I did not know too much about the university because I'm far away from the educational. I don't want to say anything about the university, education, blah, blah, blah. And for the governments, I think in Thailand, when you think about Thailand Cultural Center, Ministry of Culture, you hear the name, the Ministry of Culture. The culture, art, and dance is different. If you change the name Ministry of Art and Culture, maybe they are aware more about art. Yeah, when you're talking about culture, it's something different. Yeah, I think the way when they describe or approach about culture and art and dance in different way. Yeah, that's why we are really getting stuck. Yes, about culture, about art, and the idea and concept about the contemporary. Yeah, because the idea and concept about the contemporary, they don't understand what is the idea and concept about the contemporary, how the links and development from the tradition and contemporary. Yeah, when we're talking about the contemporary become destroying the tradition all the time. But no, the contemporary is a link. I give one example. The traditional performance is record or make a people too proud of the nationality and remember about the past. Yeah, because it's all the tradition is like about the Buddhist concept, about the war, about the king, blah, 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 blah. This is from the past. Yeah. For the contemporary, the main concept about the contemporary is talking about future and today. You see, this kind of art form very like supporting to each other when you understand the main concept of traditions and contemporary. Yeah, we have to have the traditional performance, and we need to create a contemporary work, because the audience want to know how we can stay or we live in the future. Because a traditional performance cannot give us the future. It's give us about the past. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, for your thoughts. We still have a few minutes left. Any other questions?
Pawit,
Yes.
maybe this is a question for you. I'm also curious, and also for two other speakers, about the audience reception of maybe some local audience or international. But of course, they're different, because we like local state, because the talk for tonight reminds me about our traditional Cantonese opera. Some of our audience, they really treasure the tradition of the Cantonese opera. So if some artist or some young generation of our practitioners trying to make some new experiment of mixing up, or to try to put some contemporary elements to a traditional Chinese opera, some audience may find it very not appropriate at some point, or they will think, because the Chinese traditional opera, they have some conventions that they cannot break the rules. So they think those works are really not that appropriate. So I am very curious to know how the audience over there, or in an international context, how are they going to receive this kind of performances in Thailand? Or yeah.
Okay, can I start first?
Sure. I think I was going to ask you to answer this, because it sounds like Thailand, isn't it? And also, well, some people say that a lot of people in Thailand, especially like artists who are working in the classical, like performing arts in Thailand, don't really like Pichet's works, unlike those in like foreign lands in Europe and in many parts of Asia. So, but of course, like Pichet, please share with us your thoughts.
Okay, I very agree with all the masters. They cannot break the root and keep the tradition the same like 1,000 years or 2,000 years or 500 years. This is very, very important. You must to keep it, because the production, the traditional performance is a recording. It's a record of time and spirit and mind for the humans in that time or period. That's why we don't have a record. We don't have any video tape or anything. We need to keep like 1,000 years. But for today, we can't find the real traditional anymore. That's why people very like unsure. This is what is this? You cannot create like future and then you can't bring it back into the past. It's unclear. It's like a fusion. When the fusion is not very good sometimes. Yes. This is for me when people try to create a new way of the traditional performance, you have to make sure you do the contemporary work or you want to do the traditional work. Yes. And I would like to say, for example, Cohen's performance is a production not for humans. It's for God. It's for king. It's not for us. When you go and you're boring, don't mind. This is production for boring. It's a boring production. When you do the comedy, you do tragedy. Why you do not create a boring production? And the audience for Cohen's performance is on the sky. It's not on the earth. please try to understand the concept of the tradition and the audience too.
Kuchan, any comments from you?
To me, yeah, I believe in evolution. Okay, I believe in things change. Okay, according to time. Okay, fashion change, people change, and I want to say that let bygone be bygone. Anything that we can keep it. Anything that has to go, then go. But the thing is, I just cannot really define what is contemporary and what is tradition to me. I dare not to, because I don't see no difference between tradition and contemporary, because both of them are important for our present day life. Okay, like when you wear sarong, you wear the way wearing a gangeng prayer. It's the old way, but I still wearing it. Okay, and of course, when I wear jeans, the fashion of the tomorrow. So why can't? So I cannot distinguish between them, and to me, it is a matter of appropriation. Okay, once we took a production to Austria, okay, and because our production always consists of different age, variety of age, okay, adults, old, teenagers, or young ones. So there is part where a very small boy, okay, and they put us, they classify us as contemporary. I did not say it, okay. I was classified as a contemporary work. So, okay, fine. And I have seen many contemporary works in Europe before. So there is a part where a little boy must take a leak under the tree, okay. And he eventually unzipped and took out his, and the whole audience was going, oh no, this is, cannot do it. But when in reality all the adults take, they close off in contemporary, you know that, okay. That there's nothing, but no, everybody, I can see your dick, I can see your boobs, I can see, but not the little boy penis. So it's a matter of appropriation. I didn't know that. Okay, oh, so this has become a big matter, okay, in Europe. So I learned that, okay. So like they say, when you're in Rome, do as Romans do, and that is contemporary, and that is contemporary mean we integrate, okay, we integrate, we somehow collaborate the old and for the today living. If you separate them, then I think it belongs to history. It belongs to anthropology. You see, and it belongs to another science. Perhaps Elon Musk must be interested in the future more than us. But I'm interested in today. Okay, I'm interested in today. What to eat next? What is my next meal? So when I think of the meal that I would eat, then I think of my mother cooking, and that is all. That is tradition, okay. And now we have a very new noodles, mama, and that is you know, instant noodles. So why? So I cannot separate them. Sometimes I eat noodles. Sometimes I go back to my mama recipes. Or so it's for the, as long as you are happy here. And for the audience, I hope that what I cook, you know, sometimes I use the recipe of the old, and fusion it, with sushi or whatever, and with the curry, with coconut. So why not? And I cannot separate them. So, but I agree with Pichet. It should be separated, but it should belong to another department. It should belong to anthropology, history, or and if the future, it should belong to, I don't know, futurism, or I don't know. So to me, I think is my keyword is appropriation.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I'd like to get back to Pichet's comment or note about whether contemporary or traditional. You have to be clear to the audience whether like your work, this work of yours is contemporary or traditional. I remember, I think in late 2021, Pichet, you took your company to Paris at Musée Brongli, right? And you perform like both the classical like performance of Khon and also your contemporary production. How was the audience response?
I think we have more audience from the traditional performance. Yeah, because my image, when I went out of Thailand, people look at me as a traditional dancer. I'm very supporting tradition, but in Thailand, people look at me a contemporary dancer. You see, the idea and concept of the contemporary from the West and in Thai, it's totally different. Yeah. Yes. And I think people more appreciate. I can say people more and more appreciate in the tradition. Yes. Yes.
Do you think that's partly because of the image that the government is trying to project about Thailand? I mean, all those like posters of like our temples or like classical dancers in Thai restaurants like overseas, or advertisements. Yeah.
It's a part of it. Yeah, it's a part of it. Yeah, but I think people in France, they know me and they know my work very well. It's from one production, Pichet, Klunchun, and myself. And then I think they want to know exactly this person is a real person or not about the traditional dance. That's why they came to see Khon's performance. And that is the first time I represent a traditional performance in the theater. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I think that tour to Brongli is quite remarkable, because usually when you invite like a dance like company from Thailand, it's either like contemporary or traditional. But then like your company could do it like both, like in the same trip. Yeah. So
that is a plan of the company from the beginning when I start to create work. Why we have to shoot one or two?
Right.
Yeah, we if we practice from the tradition, we can do tradition and we can do contemporary. Why not? Why you will pick up one? Yeah. Mm.
Any other thoughts, comments, Bernice? Yeah.
I think, yes, on behalf of IATC-HK, I must thank you so much for our speakers and also for Pawit hosting this great events for us. It's really inspiring talks, even though we can't meet each other in person, but through new technology, we can still be connected. And I think we learned a lot for this wonderful evening, and I'm also looking forward to our next events on next Wednesday, I guess. And the participants, you can find more details on our IATC website, and I also put the link at the chat box. And as Kuchan mentioned about, the more you go back to the tradition, the more resources that you can find for your life and also for what you are looking for at the present. So thank you so much for all of your sharing and also for a great curatorial work that Pawit have done for us and for IATC as well. So I'm looking forward to see you all next week for our next talk, and good evening for now, and good health and Happy New Year to you all.
ขอบคุณ
Thank
ค
you
รั
so
บ
much.
สวัส
Thank
ดี
you
ค
so
รับ
much. Thank you so
ขอบคุณมาก
much.
ครับ
Thank you so much.
ขอบคุณ
Okay.
ครับ
เช่
Bye.
เช่กับป้อมมีไหว้ครูวันอาทิตย์นี้นะ
ครับผม
อันนี้บอกเฉยๆเลยชวน
ชวน
What's that? What's that? It's Happy New Year or?
No, there's a ceremony to pay respect to the teachers at Klunchun's school this Sunday.
see.
So he
I
invites
see.
like
People
both of us.
raise hand. I think some people raise hand for the question.
Hey, really? Anyone with any last questions?
I think
Any-
it's the applause.
Okay. It's
applause,
applause.
I think. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, congratulations to
ขอบคุณครับ
yes, best wishes for the events. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
ขอบคุณครับ